think we good. Yeah. Yeah. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. I'm joining my co-host, my brother from another mother. Blood couldn't make us any closer. One of the best photographers in the world. My brother, Santana. Say something to the people.
What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all could have been anywhere else, but y'all here with us tonight. And for that, we thank you. And as always, we got a jam-packed show, so we're going to get right into it. You heard?
Y'all, thank you again for tapping and tuning in, man. I want to give a quick shout out to some of our day ones and our badge holders already in the building. Yes, I'm seeing it in the chat. I'm seeing it in the chat. The big 150, the big 150. This is our 150th episode. It's a lot of episodes. So again, I want to thank y'all for tapping in and continue to supporting the show. I want to thank some of some of our day ones and some of our badge holders. Let's listen to the operative word, y'all. Badge holders, people that continue to support in the show. Shout out to Winter in the building. Shout out to Culture in the building. Shout out to King P in the building. Shout out to Treeman in the building. Hit it with the year. Shout out to Ebony in the building. Shout out to Rowan Jack in the building. Again, we appreciate it as always. This is our 150th. Excuse me, y'all. This is our 150th episode. So, with that, again, we want to thank y'all for continuous and growing the show. Um, we on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We just a little over 11,000 subscribers. So again, y'all, continue to like, subscribe, stay engaged, comment, leave comments in the rewatches as well. We got over 300 rewatchable videos on this particular podcast on this channel. So make sure y'all, go ahead and watch it. You know what I'm saying? Have fun, go crazy. Shout out to I feel like I'm missing something. Also, uh, shout out to our presenting sponsor of this episode of this podcast, Button Snaps. Make sure you go to button-snaps.com. Again, button-snaps.com, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentary, and original content, all for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps, button-snaps.com. Shout out to Miss Ronesis Beats in the building. No, that's Mr. But he just got the S in the joint. My bad, bro. My bad. Appreciate you tapping in, man. As always, Grey Goose going down rough, Ash. Roll Jack is stupid. Let me check my. Okay, we good. My Windows is good. All right, y'all. First segment of the night, popular opinions. This segment is brought to you by OUV Records, where you get, where the label model is create, document, and inspire. Go to Instagram at OUV Records to stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. All right, y'all. Again, this is popular opinions. These are not our questions, y'all. I always have to say that, especially in a rewatch, because the comments in a rewatch regarding popular opinions, y'all act like we're asking the question, like we came up with these questions. These are the world's questions, but stick to the answers in the question, y'all. All right. All right. Question number one. Well, I made this into a question because it's actually a question on the community page. Which Ashley Lovechild tweet is is the hardest? I'm sorry. Which Ashley Lovechild tweet hit the hardest? Pause. Which Ashley Lovechild tweet hit the hardest? Number one, reading is fundamental. Number two, avoid the crash out. Number three, a father's love is misunderstood but unconditional and unconditional. Sorry. Number four, comprehension can save your life. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Again, Which Ask the Lovechild tweet hits the hardest? Number one, reading is fundamental. Two, avoid the crash out. Three, a father's love is misunderstood and unconditional. Number four, comprehension can save your life. Again, let us know what y'all think in the chat. What you
I'm
got,
probably
bro?
gonna go with 3 because I'm a father as well, so I'm gonna go with 3.
Oh, and that's the reason why. Just off the back, no, nothing added.
Yeah, we fathers and stuff like that, so that makes uh it hits close to home.
Yeah, yeah. Me personally, I'm seeing a whole bunch of threes in the chat. My bro said threes. In the chat also went with two as well. Um, whew, man, for me, I'm gonna say avoid the crash out for me personally. And the reason why I'm going with avoid the crash out is because it's just more prevalent to like every being of our life. Like we seeing people crashing out, not just in romantic relationship, parent relationship, work relationships, all relationships. People are crashing out by numbers. So me personally, I'm gonna go with avoid the crash out. Again, y'all all went with different numbers. My bro again went with number three. A father's love is misunderstood and unconditional. They're going with that in the chat as well with avoid the crash out and comprehension can save your life. At 44%, the rest of the world went with number four, comprehension can save your life. What do you think about that?
I like that choice. That's a decent choice right there.
Yeah, I think so too. Because what people don't realize, when things hit you a certain way, you make better decisions. Most people are conditioned to react and not letting it hit you. Let it comprehend, and then you make your decision. So I'm not mad at that as well. But I thought they was all tough choices. Again, thank y'all for tapping in. All right, moving on to our next popular opinion question: most toxic TV daughter. Most toxic TV daughter. And again, y'all, if this y'all first time watching, continue to stay engaged in the chat. Our show is built off love and engagements, and we give y'all all types of information. We talk about everything on the show. All right, y'all. Most toxic TV daughter on this list. Number one, the new Hillary Banks. Number two, Tia Landry from Sister Sister. Number three, Moesha from Moesha. Number four, Laura Winslow from Family Matters. What do y'all think about that? Well, what's your answer, bro?
Mm,
This is top tier toxicity, I must say, as far as TV characters of daughters. I'm just putting that out there, y'all. This is top tier. This is a top tier list.
I'm probably gonna go with the newer age Hillary Banks because it's more modernized than what today's female goes through. So it definitely showcased like the modern aspect of it. So I'm gonna go with that one.
Okay. Yeah, her level of toxicity, bro, is on a whole. It's like a whole nother level, bro. You know what I'm saying? She trying to get over one dude by getting with another dude who real lit, NFL playing, all this, that, and the third, knowing her heart is with Jazz. All right before their wedding, she getting her cheeks clapped from Jazz. You know what I'm saying? Like, and already the dude you marrying got a weak heart. Like, so make that make sense. That was all out of selfishness, bro. You know what I'm saying? And if I was Jazz and clapped them cheeks, of a woman that I love, and she's supposed to get married the next day, the type of, you know, I'm gonna give her that night, I'm knocking her socks off, dog. You understand me? Knocking her socks off purposely. Pause. So my brother went with the new Hillary Banks. Me personally, I'm going with Moesha. Y'all remember Moesha? Yo, Moesha was hella toxic. Every relationship she was in, she made it worse. Even though, like her pop, she had a real pop in her life, making sure that the little young whippersnappers whip behind the ears come to the door all correct. she want to make it easier, sneaking dudes in the back door, oh Haji, and sneaking. Hakeem was already in the crib. Then Q, you know what I'm saying, with the clean cut. She, running down to the barbershop to spend time with him and all this other stuff. And she makes all her relationships even worse. So I'm going with Moesha. My brother went with the new Hillary Banks. In the chat, I'm seeing a mix of different answers. I'm seeing a mixture. Shout out to United in the building. Appreciate you tapping in, man. United Truth. The rest of the world at 54% went with Laura Winslow. What do you think about that?
I'm surprised. Toxic. Okay, I could see Laura being toxic now. I think about it, but that's a good choice as well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, good choice. But me personally, I always felt like she always kept it a buck with all her situations. So that's just me personally, but I could see how the narrative would spin that. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, moving on. Which era of hip hop is the best? Which era of hip hop is the best? Number one, 90s, Tupac, Biggie, Nas, Wu Tang. Number two, 2000s, Eminem, 50, Jay Z, Kanye. Number three, 2010s, Kendrick Lamar, Drake, J. Cole, Nicki Minaj. Number four, 2020s, Travis Scott, Tyler, and Kodak. Again, let me know what y'all think in the chat. Which one you going with, bro?
I'm gonna have to go with the '90s because the 2000s is when it was pretty much going downhill. You know what I'm saying? So the '90s was like the top tier era of like the best rap you could get. You know what I'm saying, from everybody. So I'm gonna go with the
Mm-hmm.
90s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In the chat, they going with shout out to Malik. Shout out to Oliver tapping in. Shout out to Doc Holiday tapping in. So I'm seeing 2000s in the chat. Shout out to Honesty in the building. Shout out to Alon in the building. Shout out to Wise Up. Wise Up. The 80s is not on the list. Yeah, y'all saying 80s. 80s is not on the list, y'all. Shout out to Steven in the building. He's all they say 80s. The 80s not on the list, y'all. It's 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s. It should have been on the list, but it's not on the list. My brother went with 90s. Majority of y'all saying 80s. I can't give y'all that because they not on the list. But the second best answer I'm seeing in the chat is also the 90s as well. Somebody being real ridiculous. I'm not even gonna mention what you put, the last person that put that ridiculous ass answer trying to be funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, but shout out to you though, man. Shout out to Jay in the building. Jay Marta in the building. Appreciate you tapping in, man. All right. So you went with 90s. The chat is going with 90s. They put in 80s, but 80s not on this list. Me personally, when it comes to rap music, it's tough because my upbringing was to the 2000s. The 90s was the golden era where that was the era before us where you got the gangsta boogie, you get your gangsta boogie, and I probably listen to more 90s rap now than I ever did before, and I have appreciation and I love that 90s music if we're just talking about music. But as far as what is going on in hip hop, as far as the access of money and being able to show new energy, and I love the new fans. With the new fans, it's like, yo, you don't have to be a part of a machine or gatekeepers to be popping. You're this, and we rock with you. So for that, I'll say the 2020s, y'all. I know. Y'all probably think I'm bugging for saying that, but the new fan no longer looks at new rap music as, again, you have to be a part of this entity over here and you're popping. You could be independent and still be popping just as long as you make great music. Simple and plain. In the 90s, you had to be a part of the entity. In the 2000s, you had to be a part of the entity. In the 2010s is where you kind of seen a little bit of both, but you still had to be attached to something that was like kind of preceded you. Like when you think of J. Cole, you think of Kendrick, you think of Nicki Minaj, Drake. they was all attached to something that preceded them from the 90s. Lil Wayne is from the 90s, y'all. Even though he killed in the 2000s, he's from the 90s or late 90s. Same thing with J. Cole. He came through Jay-Z. Same thing with Nicki Minaj. Came through Lil Wayne. And so on and so forth. So when it comes to music, I'm going to say the 90s. When it comes to just everything that comes with hip hop, I'm going to say 2020s. But if I have to give one answer, I'm going to say 2020s. I know y'all going to kill me in the chat. It's all good. I can handle it. But again, even though the music is probably not the best, but everything that you get from music and the impact on how quick it could go out because we got social media, we got internet. I'm gonna say 2020s. So the rest of the world, hold on. Again, my brother went with the 90s, the chat went with the 90s and the 80s, but the 80s is not on this list, y'all. The rest of the world at 65% went with the 90s. What do you think about that, bro?
It's a big number, 65%. Like that's massive right there. That's unheard of in the popular opinion. But I
Yeah.
do think that's coming. That era is coming back, regardless of where you at. It's about authenticity, and then the being real with the rap game, like being serious about your pen game. Like none of this buffale. We can't hear this mumbling, and you gotta spit something. Let me hear something. Let me hear what you
Yeah.
gotta say. So
Yeah.
that's what I feel the '90s always had that because of the area of where music was being controlled. So basically New
Mhm.
York. So that was you have to spit something real to like even get a chance. So now that's starting to creep back. So that makes sense.
Yeah. And see, and a part of why the music today doesn't hit harder, one, you're dealing with less talented people because everybody feel like they can rap. That's one. Two, the people that can rap, it don't sit with people for a long period of time because of the access of music. So that's the biggest normal with today's music. But we got dope music, but at the same time, it doesn't sit with people longer because of the access of it. Like most people, when an album is really good in today's and age, it'll stick with you for a couple weeks. But that music is still fire. It's still timeless. But the music in the 90s stick with you a little longer because it was supposed to be all about the talent, all about the beat, all about the lyrics, all the style, everything encompassed in one. So yeah, so I just wanted to add that context to it. Shout out y'all, appreciate y'all. Shout out people die for what they believe in. God bless their souls. But yeah, real poets. Now that's a fact, man. We had some real truth tellers in those 90s eras. The 80s should have been on this list. The 80s is overlooked as well too because you had a lot of people that started off hip hop based on talent. It was all talent based, right? They was force fed because of the talent. But as time went on, the consumer realized, well, I don't want to say the consumer, but most people that listen to music is casual music people. So they don't want to hear why and the reasoning why, this rapper is comparing an orange to the sun, on why the difference between most people think when New York people say son, they think we're talking about our son, as in son and daughter, when the term is actually son. I see the sun in you, meaning, yo, what's good, son? I see the sun in you as the sun in the sky. People don't want to hear the meaning of that. So a lot of the people want to boogie and party, and that's why we got a lot of casual fans. So a lot of artists say the hell with it and give y'all what y'all want. So, but again, shout out to all eras. All eras is pivotal and needed in the growth of hip hop. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment, our Hollywood Need to Ask Us segment. We came up with this segment because Hollywood don't give us movies that we ask for or have great original ideas, spice it up or something, nothing. So we got better ideas for movies or TV series. You want to start this one off?
Yes, I got a good one. Hollywood needs to ask us because of this whole situation with the Big U indictment. I feel as though this story is like so huge that it can create its own series on its own. Like just following the story from his early days until this indictment. It's just a plethora of just so much morsels of information that I could see this being a multi-series on FX
Mhm.
because this guy's storyline is just very interesting to say the least on many different levels. So it can tackle street life, music, uh levels of government, you know what I'm saying? So it's like tied into a whole bunch of stuff so that the whatever what's already documented up until this point, I feel as though can be used for a good series on FX, at least 3 seasons. You know what I'm saying? Somebody write it right. Um, can write it in a way where you could get 3 seasons just with the stuff right now before the case even comes into court, and then whatever happens after that court case. But it's just so much information, and like I said, this character is tied into so many things, and we could get a series out of it, and dive into the story in so many different ways that it can really be something huge that a good studio could tie into.
Yeah, that would be fire. Shout out to some of our first time watchers again. Hit those likes, hit the 100s. We don't bring it up often, so I forget. So when I remember, hit them likes, hit the 100s. Again, our show is built off love, and again, continue to engage in the chat. Y'all going uh, dope in the chat, leaving dope comments and shedding light as we giving information. Y'all giving information right back, so we appreciate that. Bro, that's a dope idea with the whole Big U situation as far as a movie or a TV series. I just seen one of his co-defendants. I don't want to say somebody's supposed to be in jail, but he's out, and they rolled up on a producer that used to be on Love and Hip Hop, and they was giving him the beatbox. You know what I'm saying? Pause. Not a new beat. Like they was giving him the beats, y'all. Like it was about three of them, and they was piecing them up while he was all at dinner. You know what I'm saying? You know how Cali cats would do. You. I don't care if you sitting there eating fettuccine, they gonna roll up. And you know what I'm saying, and hook you up with a couple of two pieces and a biscuit. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, he was sitting there drinking his little wine and chicken wings, and they had to piece him up. So, and this particular person had a couple people with him, and he was supposed to be, for the reports I read, he was locked up with Big U, but he already out. So I don't know. So again, great story. You see where I'm going with this, right? Great story, and why some people get released and some people stay, and heads may roll. So again, dope. I love that idea. My Hollywood need to ask us. I want to see a new version. Y'all probably don't remember this movie. I want to see a new version of the classic movie series FX. They had FX1, FX2. I want to see a new up to date version of FX. And they use, again, I'm going to go to my go to guys, pause, either Ryan Coogler or Jordan Peele. The reason why I want to go with Jordan Peele because of the social commentary and the fact that the movie FX was built off of a special effects guy who was able to solve crimes. Mind you, he didn't want nothing to do with crime, but everybody know because of his special effects how it may affect public opinion. Meaning, like, so in part one, the CIA came to him to fake kill this special witness, and because he's a special effects guy, he can make it believable that this witness is murdered. So now when the case is called up, the witness come out of nowhere like, yeah, haha, you thought I was dead. So he was like that lit. In part two, he did some other things in part two. So again, I want to see a new remake of the FX. They only made two of them, and the second one was even fire. So I want to see the new remake of the FX movie series with either Jordan Peele or Ryan Coogler because of their mind storylines and how they put things together, the creativity, the music soundtrack, the movie soundtracks, all together. I think it'll be fire. What do you think about that?
Now, that would be dope, son. They definitely need to tap into that.
I would love that. I don't care if they made this series. I would more so want to see a movie but I think that would have been out. That would be fire. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment, one of our most celebrated segments of the show, our must see segment. Must see movies, must hear music, must see or watch TV shows, documentary, or stand up. You want to start this one off?
You can start it off.
All right, so my number one must see movie. Put these three movies on y'all playlist. It's Sunday night, y'all. I'm telling you, watch these movies throughout the week. My number one movie came out in 1988. I know half of y'all probably haven't even seen this. It was directed by Roger Spotterwood. It stars Sidney Poitier, Tom Berenger, Christy Alley, Clancy Brown, Richard Morso, and Michael Chapman. This movie is called Shoot to Kill. Fire, top tier movie, y'all. The beginning of the movie is so fire, where the police, there was a diamond owner that broke into his own store to steal his own diamonds. The police catches him, and you have to watch the rest of the movie. It is fire. My number two must see movie came out in 1989, directed by Gerald Conine. It stars This movie stars Robert Vaughn, John Corradine, uh, Donald Pleasant, Nia Long, Karen Witter, and Arnold Vaslow. This movie is called Buried Alive. Fire movie about a married couple that's going through it. The husband has a plan and the wife has a plan, and you have to see the rest of the movie. I won't ruin it for y'all, so make sure y'all tap into Buried Alive. My last must see movie came out in 1991. I just mentioned it, directed by Richard Franklin. This movie is called FX2. This stars Brian Brown, Brian Dennehy, the legendary Rachel Tacotin, Joanna Gleason, Philip Bosco, and Dominic Zam Pranada. This movie, like I told you about a special effects guy, and the police is coming back to him again. They need to catch a killer, so they need his effects ability to trap a killer. And you have to watch the rest of the movie. It is a mind twist, so make sure y'all tap into FX2. So my three must see movies: Shoot to Kill, Buried Alive, and FX2. Make sure y'all check that out.
Dope, dope, dope. So my three movies, if y'all remember from last episode, I had three movies and had counterparts to them. So these movies for this episode are the counterparts for last week's episode of movies. So the first one on the list is Volcano. Came out in 1997, stars Tommy Lee Jones, Anne H., Gabby Hoffman, Don Cheadle, John Corbett, Keith David, John Carroll Lynch, Jacqueline Kim, Michael Rispoli, Laurie Lathan, Marcelo Thedford, and Jared Thorne. The seismologist that's following quakes and different movement of lava underneath the city. And then you gotta watch the rest of the movie to find out what happened. Again, it's a '90s movie, classic, and the special effects still hold up to this day. So, I mean, it's pretty good. Next movie on the list is called Three Strikes. Came out in 2000. Stars Brian Hooks, DJ Pooh, Face on Love, David Allen Greer, Nabush Wright, Monique, Megan Good, E40, DeAndre Bonds, Dean Norris, Mike Epps, and Brianna McKnight. For somehow reason, we can make light and make jokes upon the most horrific things that happen to melanated people. And the three strikes rule that was implemented in the '90s is pretty much one of them. And this movie revolves upon that three strikes rule. It's about this convict who comes out, already has two strikes, and he gets in the midst of trouble that can cause his three strikes to land him back in jail for the rest of his life. So again, it's a comedy, but you know what I'm saying. Next one on the list is called Deep Impact. Came out in 1998. Stars Tay Leone, Morgan Freeman, Elijah Wood, Lily Sobowski, Maximilian Schell, John Favreau, Vanessa Redgrave, Dole Gray Scott, James Comrell, Laura Ines, Mary McCormick, and Blair Underwood. It's about this astrologist who sees this huge asteroid hurtling towards Earth. And they have to come up with a plan to try to deviate that asteroid. And you got to watch the rest of the movie to find out what happens. Dope movie. And majority of these movies were counterparts to our last movie on the list. So tap into these movies again. It's called Volcano, Three Strikes, and Deep Impact.
Bro, that Deep Impact, bro. Y'all know how I feel about Morgan Freeman. Like Morgan Freeman is, you know what I'm saying, the best actor in the world to me, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know it's a good movie when Morgan Freeman is in the movie. I don't care what the movie's about. Like, I name a bad Morgan Freeman movie. Even he made Driving Miss Daisy poppin'. Like, so go see Deep Impact. That movie is fire. All the movies is fire, but yo, you know how I feel about Morgan Freeman. Pause. As far as an actor, like his skill level is just crazy, and people, you know what I'm saying. I never seen him young though. He's always been an older man. You know what I'm saying, holding it down. You know what I mean.
Right.
So, but shout out to that movie. Make sure y'all go tap into Wise Up. Said honorable mention the Serpent and the Rainbow. Never heard of that. I'm gonna tap into that. That sounds interesting.
All
Shout
right.
out to Little or Ilanana in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Shout out to Martello in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Hollywood is doomed. We've been saying that, bro. We've been saying that Hollywood is rooted in demonic behavior, and it's not because of the art. It's because of what people do that has the power, the gatekeepers. So there's nothing wrong with making movies. There's nothing wrong with being an actor, but it is something wrong when it's rooted in devil worshiping, in the type of gatekeeping that it's rooted into. So, but yeah. But shout out to y'all, man. Y'all been amazing in the chat. Keep it up, y'all. Keep it up. Hit them likes, y'all. Hit them likes. Hit them 100s. Hit the 100s. Especially if this is your first time watching. Can the brothers get a rap? We talk about everything, whether sports, social commentary, everything, real life, current events. We talk about everything, movies, music, the whole nine. Any of the movies stand out? The ones I mentioned, which was Shoot to Kill, Buried Alive, and FX2.
Shoot to Kill's premise sound interesting.
Yeah, oh, that's crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. So make sure y'all go tap into those movies that we talked about. This is our 150th episode, and we've been giving y'all top tier movies to watch. So make sure y'all tap in. All right, moving on to our must hear. I have to use this artist because he's has an interesting. No, I would say he has a realistic way of how he's living, and people are just getting hit to how some people move, and it actually works. But his music in itself is classic, top tier. But I have a feeling that some of our audience is not tapped into his music. So my must hear of this episode is Neo. Put these three songs on your playlist from Neo. Number one, Sexy Love. Number two, Because of You. Number three, Nobody. Put those three songs on your playlist again. Number one, Sexy Love. Number two, Because of You. Number three, Nobody. So make sure y'all put those on your playlist. Again, I had to bring them up because, his whole relationship status was all over the internet where he got relationships with, four different young ladies, and he enjoying himself. You know what I'm saying? And everybody is deep diving into his life as they should, only because he put it out there. So, it's all fair game. Any of these songs stick out to you?
Definitely Sexy Love. You know what I'm saying? That's college day
Come on, bro.
parties and all that stuff.
That's a good time right there. That video is still classic. But shout out to Neo. Make sure you put these three songs on your playlist. All right, moving on to our must see or must watch TV show. Whether it's a classic, documentary, or stand up series. You want to start this one off?
Now you can start it off.
All right, so my must see show. This is a must see. It's not a classic, but it is a must see show, TV show. Has 6 seasons. Came out in 2010. This TV show is called Justified. Fire show on some like Texas Ranger type of style, and they doing things the Texan way. You know what I mean? As far as solving crimes and getting to the bad guys, top cop type of stuff on their sheriff vibe. This show cast is Timothy Olyphant, uh, Walton Goggins, Joel Carter, Jacob Pitts, Natalie Zay, and Erica Tazzle. Make sure y'all tap in. It's like a U.S. Marshal type of style. I said sheriffs. It's more like a U.S. Marshal type of style, Texan style. So make sure y'all tap in. It's a fire show. And it has 6 seasons. So make sure y'all watch
Facts. Take it to the edge. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take it to the edge.
that.
Fire series right there. My series is definitely a classic, so you're gonna probably gonna have to tap into Tubi or YouTube or something. But this one is called Hang Time. Came
Wow.
out 1995 to 2000, had 6 seasons, and it stars Megan Parlin, Daniela DeShooter, and Amber Barretto, Anthony Anderson, Reggie Theus, Chad Gabriel, Adam Frost, Donzo Gordon, Jay Hernandez, Hilary Tuck, Dick Butkus, Mark Frangeli, David Hansen, Philip Glasser, James Villani, Eric Shatter, and Brandon Armstrong. About what you call middle of America basketball team, you know what I'm saying, that just trying to make it to the championship in high school and stuff. And you just and in high school they're doing their thing, going to practice, having high school problems, and it was just a one of those feel good TV shows that was in the early 90s. It was definitely like in that Saturday morning block on NBC where it was just like you had Saved by the Bell, the college years, and you had Hang Time. Then there was like another show after that or before it, but you
City
had some like top tier
City
TV
guy.
program, City Guys. Yes, it was City Guys. Then you had Hang Time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking about top tier TV programming, and Hang Time was definitely one of them. And Anthony Anderson, I always remember them from this show. So shout out to him. And like I said, it was a definitely throwback and good time, good TV show. So like I said, you could catch it on Tubi because Tubi got everything, and probably could catch it on YouTube as well.
Hmm. Fire show, man. Make sure y'all tap in. Like Hang Time was such a good time. Pause. Like the music, the theme music had me. You know what I'm saying? Hang
Mhm.
time. Like it had me. And then they show people shooting J's at the same time on a Saturday morning. Yo, that was a time, y'all. That was a good time right there. Anthony Anderson all in the corner on his 3 and D. Like, yo, I'm out here, B. I'm not gonna hold you though because they had a girl on the show and the girl was the best player on the team. When I got to high school, every girl I seen that summer that played basketball, it was vengeance. I'm not gonna hold you. Like you're not gonna aiming me out here because she was killing in the school in the show. She was killing. She was averaging like 20 points a game. So every girl I saw that was like inspired by Lord Annie O, it was vengeance. You know what I'm saying? Like you gonna get this work, man. You out here with the bros, you gonna get this work. So but that's a top tier show. People don't even know who Reggie Theus is. He was a top tier NBA scorer at one point in time. So he was also on the show. Shout out to City Guys on that block. Y'all probably don't even. If everybody in this chat have seen Roll Bounce before. Roll Bounce was starred by the guy that played Sweetness. Wesley, I think his name Jonathan Wesley or Wesley Jonathan. That guy, he doesn't age at all. He still looks like he's in his like mid-20s or something like that. But he played Sweetness. He was on the show City Guys as a teenager. Fire show. It the nostalgia is fire, but when you go back to rewatch it, just watch it. Just go watch it. So good time, good show, bro. I like that. I like that. That was tough. That was tough. Good times. You got a cologne for us?
Definitely got cologne for y'all. Y'all look good. Y'all feel good. Y'all smell good. You're gonna do good. So this brand is called House of Brandt, and the fragrance is called Bois de Santil. French, so part of my French, but the name of the Main name of the brand is House of Brands, and the fragrance again is Bois de Sentil. Fire, fire scent. Yet again, you know what I'm saying? Top tier fragrances we give you. So, it's always gonna be on point with any one of these fragrances you choose. So, you know what I'm saying? Top in and let me know what you think of them.
Hmm. Tap in, man. We appreciate it, and make sure the whole. I'm sorry. The whole goal is to smell good to get the girl. So, fellas, go get them brands, man. Smell good, man. You know. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. You already know what time it is. It's time to rap. This segment is brought to you by Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, Button Snaps. That's button hyphenated sign snaps.com. That's button hyphenated sign snaps.com. Make sure y'all go tap in. First hot topic of the night. Uh, Number one, some sad news. Some sad news. A former LSU defensive back, uh, Kyrene Lacey, has passed away by committing suicide. Self-inflicted gunshot was reported. He was 25 years old. They said it was suspected of him doing that mainly because um, he was also the leading person to face charges in accidental car crash, which led to the death of a 78-year-old man on December 17th. What do you think about that?
It's a tragic story. Tragic all around. Condolences to both families in this situation, and it's just a tough situation to be a part of.
Hmm. I mean, I think you said it best when you say condolences to both families. Um, I don't know, at that age, at 25, it's a very tricky age because even though you could celebrate your youth, you also celebrate not knowing the other side of a bad situation. You don't necessarily have to make a bad situation worse, and this is like a classic time where a bad situation was made even worse. I don't know the detailing of that particular case, whether he was actually looking at going in or whatever the case may be. All I know is that he was, charged as far as, he was going to have to do, some sort of trial, or, the details were still being figured out. But death is not the answer to whatever that may have happened in an accident. So at the end of the day, it's very unfortunate. The family lost a son, probably a brother, probably an uncle, just an all around relative. His LSU family, they lost the ex teammate, they lost the brother, and the 78-year-old man. I would think he's a dad, grandfather, uncle, all this in one as well. Person of the community, all this and well. So we was robbed of two people, and one was an accident, and the other, again, was more self-inflicted. But at the same time, I wish more people, especially in their 20s, would allow a situation to be before they make drastic decisions. So again, my condolences to his family, and to both families. And yeah, I don't have anything else to add to that. You?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Netflix has ordered for the pilot of the sequel to A Different World, where the story would pick up as the daughter of Whitley Gilbert. I'm sorry, Whitley and Dwayne Gilbert Wayne. The story would pick up with her character. Debbie Allen would be back as executive producer of the show. What do you think about that?
I would just have to see how it looks. I'm kind of iffy on Netflix as holding titles to certain projects. Like they just have a way of just kind of mucking up the waters. But even though the original executive producer Debbie Allen isn't on there, but you know what I mean, Netflix is still fronting the bill. So just have to see how it plays out. It's good that they're bringing back that series, but again, gotta see how it looks for real.
It was funny that you say mucking it up because I was the same frame of mind. I was thinking exactly like, yo, I hope they don't just, they just have a history of just taking stuff that was pre-existing and just, what are y'all doing? Like, y'all make one good move and take two steps back with this project. This in particular, for me, they have to get it right. They have to get it right. This is absolutely top two in all my TV shows ever watched as a kid growing up. Between Martin and A Different World is my top two shows, forever and always. And those characters are beloved. Their characters hit so hard where people actually thought the damn college was a real college. People thought Hillman was a real place. And when I was younger, mind you, we watching shows before our time. So I'm like 7, 8 years old watching the show. I could have been younger than that, to be honest with you, because this came out in the 80s. So I could have easily been like 5 or 6 or something like that. But the point that I'm making is that it still resonated with me for a long period of time because of the characters. It was all different and it was all beautiful in their own way. And the way that they told the story was excellent because people had vast differences about certain things that was social commentary, whether it was AIDS or HIV, whether it was they had an episode about the mammy, how people of our culture feel about seeing the mammies. They had another episode where they talked about rape, where they had, the guy that was that played Bruce Leroy. He was like the top baseball player, and he was trying to rape Freddie, and then I'm sorry, he tried to essay Freddie, and then he did the same thing to somebody else as well. So I mean, they had so many pivotal episodes that was like classic and also entertaining. You know what I mean? And they had fun with it, where they, they ran into like these Colombian drug lords who just so happily went on vacation the same time as Dwayne Wayne and Ron Johnson, and their bags got mixed up. So now the drug lords is looking for Dwayne Wayne and Ron Johnson, and they got to dress like women so they could move and groove on the island because there's only one way and one way off the. I mean, one way go, one way to off the island. So just so they have to get it right. I say all that to say they have to get it right. This is very pivotal, and the way they left they left. I don't know why I froze, but the way they left this show, A Different World, it was too much meat on the bone that can grow from that, and for it to be even better than it was before. I don't know if they could capture that magic again, but they could capture new magic if they do this shit right. Excuse my language. If they do this right. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. The fact that they're on Netflix, it is what it is. And I hope they don't tear this up. So uh, shout out to Debbie Allen for still being on the project as the EP to make sure that this show's right. And I've seen that they also going to add Felicia Rashad as well to like a consultant of the show as well. So you got the sisters working on it together, which is lit. So shout out to them. Right on the show always. How you doing? Appreciate you tapping in. Wet noodles. That's a fire name, bro. Appreciate you tapping in. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. Uh, Former Tennessee quarterback Ian Malinova, sorry if I teared your name up, is leaving the University of Tennessee after holding out for an increase of $2 million in NIL. He originally signed for a $2 million NIL, but based on the valuation, his evaluation is now $4 million, and he was not going to go back to the school until he was able to negotiate the 4 million instead of the 2 million that was original. So now Tennessee has said that they're not going to give him four. They settled on the 2 million, so he's going to transfer. What do you think about that?
I mean, if that's the evaluation, he feels he deserves 4 million. He's gonna go out and get his 4 million, and that's part of the playing field that we at in sports. So I mean, go after your money. You know what I'm saying, what you worth, you your value and what you're worth, and you're gonna go after it, then all the more power to you. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. But there's some speculation. Some It's not speculation. There's some things that he can't do. So he can't transfer to another SEC school. He has to go to another conference into play. So they are speculating that the schools that are top priority for him, and this is all rumor based, is Ohio, Oregon, and Colorado. What do you think of those three schools in particular?
I mean, as if his play status is meeting that demand in the schools that want him have the money to pay for him in the NIL deal, as long as he gets his bread, you know what I'm saying? Make it happen, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm. I could definitely see Ohio because Ohio has, a history of bringing quarterbacks in for 1 year type of thing, and and making that work. And they trying to find the edge to, beat us. You know what I'm saying? They can't beat us. Pause. So they have it. So no matter who y'all get as your quarterback, y'all still gonna get your ass bust by Michigan. So you know what I'm saying? But um I can see Oregon, but Oregon has a quarterback that was waiting his turn and he's ready to turn loose. So I don't know how that would affect Oregon. I'm also see USC. I don't see Colorado either. Colorado got Caden Solter. They got Julian Lewis that they getting ready and has been acclimated to the new system. So I'm also see USC added to this list. Maybe another Big Ten school or maybe ACC school, um, or maybe even Texas Tech. Say the Texas got a whole lot of money on, and Texas Tech would also be a place that would actually be able to pay him and for him to play his style of football. The way he throws the ball. So that's also a place that I can see as well. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Regal Theaters. The Regal CEO says he's open to testing and allowing people to smoke narcotics in the movie theaters. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's just another ploy to get more people into the movies. I mean, it's not, if they allowed it, that's cool. But if it's a crappy movie, it doesn't matter if I could smoke weed in there. If the movie's terrible, it just, you know what I'm saying? It just defeats the purpose. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So make better movies so people will go to the theaters and watch and pay to go watch a good movie. That's a great incentive. That'd be dope.
Hmm.
I would love, it would have to be very, very controlled. Like it would have to be, you know what I'm saying, a 21 and over type of area because you know what I'm saying, you don't want young children or young adults in that scenario. But again, it's really more so on the product. The product is not good. So if the
Hmm.
product's not good, people's not gonna pay for it, no matter if no matter if it's free at the door. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
as long as the product is good, then the incentive is awesome. That's what's up. But
Hmm.
I'll pay a little extra for that. You know what I'm saying? But if the product is not good, I don't care about the byproduct. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's awesome if they actually do that though.
That kind of goes back to our earlier segment where Hollywood need to ask us if the movie's trash, is popcorn, weed, or not narcotics. Popcorn, narcotics, in the movie is not going to be the substitute for a good movie. Me personally, I would hate this because I'm a non-smoker. If you want to smoke and watch movies, do it in the comforts of your home. The population is growing of people that actually do smoke, so I understand them catering to that as well. But if you're going to do that, then have certain theaters that allow it. Don't mix both, that people that do smoke and people that don't smoke. If you want a smoke theater, then get you a smoke theater. And it's still going to matter if the movie's good or not. But if they're going to do it that way, I personally, as a person that still goes to the movies, if you're going to do that, have one that's going to be for smokers and have one for non-smokers, because I don't want to smell all that while I'm watching my movie, while I'm trying to enjoy this whack movie. So, me personally, I would hate it, but for those who do smoke, keep it separate. And that's going to be on the behest of the theater. So I can't be upset with somebody that does smoke and they in the same theater as me and there's no rules against it. But I'm going to be hot and I will say something if this is the non smoking theater. You see what I'm saying? So I get it, but I don't think that's a real draw to get more more people in the movie theaters when people could get things through streaming. So and then people don't want to spend $30 to get popcorn when that same popcorn you get it for $2. That same, candy and snacks that you would get at Walmart for literally $1, $8. You know what I'm saying? You go to Walmart right now, get you, the soft pretzel package for $6, and they charge you like $12 for one, pretzel in the damn movie theater. So I mean, that's not no real draw. They need to find a better way to draw people back to the movies. And one is making better movies. Two, create a different movie experience. So I don't think this will be the hook that the CEO was looking to is looking to garner. So, all right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. As long as you don't talk during the movie, I'm cool. Shout out to Robert Jack. And I hate people that talk during the movie too, man. I'm a person. I say stuff, bro. You talking through the movie, I'm gonna say something to you, yo. Like for real. Like go home with all that. Go outside. People be on their phone and all that shit. Like yo, get up out of here with all that. Or else he's gonna have ash burns. And yeah, I'm trying to tell you, man. Especially if a movie's a comedy, people be laughing and dropping their cigarettes or dropping their narcotics all at the same time. So it'll be all types of stuff going on. Shout out to Daniel for tapping in. Again, hit them likes, hit them likes, hit them 100s, hit them 100s. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Former universities, former University of Southern wide receiver Quandarius Davis is caught on camera choking his ex-girlfriend, Janea Monet. He's accused of domestic violence and is booked on charges. His draft status is now in question. What do you think about that?
Uh, Terrible set of circumstances. Just another person that can't handle his emotions when you're supposed to be able to handle your emotions at a certain age, and just got caught up yet again. And it's unfortunate. Now likely to not be even get drafted. You're gonna have this whole stigma over your head and this whole public opinion before it even takes it to trial. It's gonna already crucify you. So it's just a bad look. Like right now, the scrutiny on men in general is just it's way more magnified. So you gotta move at a certain way where in public you just assume cameras is on you at all times, and especially if you're trying to go to the league, you just already should move like that anyway. So on and off the field, if you know you at home and you in your private dwellings, then fine. But anywhere else, you just assume that cameras is everywhere and just act accordingly. And unfortunately, got caught up. So it's just a terrible look for him and his family.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, this changes the trajectory of his, near future. Instead of celebrating and possibly getting drafted, what's today? So the draft is basically next week or the week after that. He would have been looking forward to get drafted to a team, going to a new city, and starting his life for real, opposed to now worrying about this court case in a situation that he created. The tape is out, is released, and they say accused, and I'm guessing that they saying accused because the verification of the film, but she is saying that it's him doing that to her. So he's really, a part of the change that he's going to have to go through in his life is unfortunate, but they're going to make an example of him of this situation. It was a bad altercation. It didn't look good. Obviously, no altercation looks good when you're dealing with a woman, but this looked really bad. And during the video, she went to sleep. If you know what I mean, put her to sleep. So again, fellas, when you're dealing with women, when you're dealing with anyone, you really have to be in control of your emotion. I know that there's relationships out there that people can make you feel that if you don't react a certain way, then that you don't care. You have to fight against that. You can't adopt that mentality. If you adopt that mentality, then guess what? You're no longer in control of your actions. Stay in control of your actions. And this is a situation instead of him celebrating, and mind you, it's a feat that he's in the draft conversation going to a HSBU. It's the University of Southern, and he's in the draft. And now, I mean, you kiss that goodbye. It's a foregone conclusion. He's not going to get drafted. I mean, I've seen a guy who was. I remember the Cowboys end up drafting an offensive guard, and that offensive guard, I believe they caught him like in the fourth or fifth round, but he was supposed to be taken in the first round. And I would say like an hour before the draft, they were saying that the police was looking for him in the connection of a murder. So now when he goes there, answer the questions, he wasn't even a suspect. They just needed his line, they just needed his vantage point of what happened. So he never got arrested. He was never implicated in nothing. But the fact that the story was the police was looking for him in question. And he ended up going in the fourth round. So again, fellas, when you're dealing with anyone in your relationships, be very careful and be in control of your emotions. I said it earlier in the show, what I say all the time, that avoid the crash out. That was one of them. And comprehension can save your life. All right, y'all, moving on to what did you want to add anything else before I moved on?
Nah, you all good.
All right. A shout out to Rowan Jack, but what did she say? Well, she's saying that that was him that put hands on him. And in the video, y'all gonna have to see the video. Like it's a tough watch. I'm not gonna lie, it's a tough watch. And it didn't look good. No altercation with a woman looks good, but damn, it was bad. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. Uh While Julius Randle was doing his after the game interview for the Minnesota Timberwolves, you can hear superstar teammate Anthony Edwards in the background saying, "I'm the best in the world. Tell all the girls." What do you think about that?
I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's just a young kid proclaiming he's the best in the world. He's what, 23, 24? Like, what else is he supposed to say? He's top tier, one of the top tier people in the league right now. You know what I'm saying? So,
Hmm.
I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, and this is after a 44-point game in three quarters. So, um, the reason why, me personally, it sticks out to me because he just went through a whole case, or still going through a case with a woman that he don't want to be with, that he had a child with. Mind you, this woman she also has pre-existing children with another athlete, or not another athlete, another entertainer, I should say. So the fact that he like, yo, go tell all the girls I'm the best athlete, it's like, yo, bro, I know you out here, you moving and grooving, but you still want to be smooth when you move, bro. Like, don't put yourself in the crosshairs because you're already in the crosshairs, bro. Women are locked and loaded and gunning for you, Anthony Edwards. You are a top tier athlete. I'm pretty sure they already know who you are, bro. So I would not put myself in a situation where you have people that's around you all for the wrong reason. And when you say that out and about, even though he probably is saying it as a joke, right? Because when he said it, everybody laughed. Like even when I watched the video, I was cracking up. But the mentality of it, when people see that and when women see that, they're going to look at you as a lick. So it's going to be very hard for you to meet someone, take them serious, and be able to build because you just never know their ulterior motives. Especially when you put it out there, yo, go tell all the girls I'm the best in the world. So, bro, I know you doing your thing, but you know what I'm saying? You want to be cool like how you be cool. You want to be smooth like how you be smooth. and do it the right way, bro. I'm pretty sure they waiting for him at every at every city. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have friends that played in the NFL. I have friends that play in other pro leagues. And when you go to the hotels, guess what? Women are waiting. Women are waiting. Even at the smallest of leagues, the women are waiting. I'm like, yo, y'all got chicks waiting for you. Yeah, bro, you see it. And I saw it. Women are waiting. So again, Anthony Edwards, continue to do your thing, but just do it the right way. Don't put the wrong eyes on you, bro. So again, continue to do your thing. I'm actually rooting for Anthony Edwards, great player. I like watching him play. He brings that veracity, that energy, that competitive spirit every game. But off the court, be smooth with it. You know what I'm saying? Don't overwhelm him with all your game, bro. It's a way to do it. So continue to do that, bro. Shout out to Rowan Jack. He just gifted some memberships in the chat. Shout out to Rowan Jack, as always, one of the biggest supporters of the show. We appreciate it as always. Some thank you. Send that man some thank yous. If you received the gift, send that man some thank yous in the chat. Appreciate you, Rowan Jack, as always. Uh, Shout out to Ray Ray in the building. He's doing his thing. No, that's a fact. Shout out to Ray Love. Sorry, Ray Love. Shout out to Ray Love. He's doing his thing. That is a fact. That is a fact, man. He's doing his thing. He needs proper guidance. Shout out to God's favorite daughter. He needs proper guidance. He's delusional and no match for them skanks waiting to ruin his life. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They lined up. I don't know if y'all are familiar with the Caught Up movie. After they caught the young bro up, and when he was creeping through the house, what was the girl doing? She's sitting there eating her little fruity snacks and looking at the next top tier athlete looking to, ruin his life. So they did, and he just gotta be careful, man. Gotta be careful. Don't get high off your own supply. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. Man found dead on the New York City R train. He was robbed by a woman, and then R word. Again, read between the lines, y'all. He was robbed by a woman, and then he was R word. He was R word and robbed again by a man. So and now the hunt is on for this man and woman. What do you think about that?
He's recovering, or you say he was murdered or something, or he was
Yeah.
just robbed?
So he was found dead. So the
Oh,
man,
okay, okay.
but he was robbed one time by a woman, and then a man came by, all word him, and robbed him again for whatever else he had left.
And then he was murdered by who? The last person?
Well, the way it was written is making it seem like he was already gone, that he died prior to said robbery and R word.
Hmm. Um. Well, I mean, it's New York's finest, so they're gonna catch the perpetrators eventually. So when they do, they're gonna figure it out, and then swift justice is gonna happen accordingly. So I feel sorry for the family that lost that individual. But again, it's New York finest, and it's top tier cops all around that. So they're gonna find them eventually. So it's just a matter of time. That's all.
Yeah, the R word is the R train is so crazy because I used to take that train to go to school. I went to Fort Hamilton in Brooklyn, and I'm like, damn. So things used to happen. That's more of like the calm train. If you had to take one of them numbers, it was like, woo. If you had to take one of them numbers, and with the exception to like the J and the A train, it's like, or the C train, it's like, anything is liable to happen on them type of trains. But the R train, that's like the cool, calm train. So the fact that he was found dead and then robbed and then all word and robbed again, that is on a whole nother level of horrible. That's disgusting. And the mentality of people that just walking the streets anywhere, let alone New York. New York is a wild place. New York is a wild place. People are not shy, but it's also a place where people mind their business. People die all the time in New York City, and nobody will ever notice because everybody has somewhere to go and everybody minds their business. Somebody could be laying dead in the street and people will walk over them to continue to go where they need to go. They don't want to be late for their appointment. You like, damn, for real? Yes. New York is that type of place. So much to the point where we don't recognize people when they're going through stuff in times of distress. Somebody could get stabbed in New York City right in front of 10 people, and those 10 people wouldn't do absolutely nothing. They will watch, they will take their phone out. They're not going to do anything. They're going to mind their business because they don't know what that person did to get stabbed. That's the mentality. And they can't be late. They got somewhere to be. So the fact that this person, this man died like this, well, the death is still unclear on how he died, but because of the happenings afterwards, is disgusting. So again, shout out to his family. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, just again, shout out to the family.
Yeah, that's to me that's wild, bro. That's wild. I, straight disgusting, bro. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. University of Coastal Carolina has announced free concessions on everything for the whole year. When I mean everything, y'all, I mean everything. Popcorn, chips, sodas, glizzies, hamburgers, whatever's in the concessions or at the concession stands is going to be absolutely free for the whole year at the University of Coastal Carolina. What do you think about that?
Probably hit their quota, so they give it back. You know what I'm saying? Like turkeys, like Nino Brown did with turkeys. So it's probably they give back because
Uh,
the only way it makes sense is has to you're not giving anything for free. It has to been paid for before you give it away for free.
hmm I think so too. I think so too. In the chat, they say sign me up. I all the people that's gonna go to them games, I think it's gonna bring more people out to them games. I think it's a ploy to get them tickets up. Because now, I mean, to be honest with you, going to a college football game is like going to an NFL game. Them tickets is not any cheap. I mean, it's not less cheap than a, NFL ticket. So why not? I mean, for the $80 or the $70 or whatever the case may be, you're going to, how many bags of chips you going to eat? How many glizzies are you going to eat? How many, candies and all types of stuff you're going to eat? So at some point, I just hope they got a lot of toilet paper in the bathrooms at the games because people going to be running it up. So I'm not surprised based on that because they also went up. There was D1 AA. Now they've been in D1 for about 3 or 4 years, and so I wouldn't be surprised if they made over the money that they were supposed to made and was like, yo, you know what? We got back orders of this. Let's just run this up out of here. So it's a smart ploy to get more people at the game as well. So I dig it. Anything you want to add to that?
Just pay just people getting free food. So yeah, that's probably a good ploy to get everybody coming for the upcoming season.
hmm And then on top of that, you got merchandise. Let's keep it a buck. They're gonna be selling t-shirts, sweaters, jerseys, and all that. So that's a lick on that too. So concession free, tickets are not, merchandise is not. Everything else, get this food, have yourself a family filled time. So shout out to Coastal Carolina. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Question: is it out of pocket or it was just with the time that Teddy Pendergrass used to kiss random women at his show? That's
Is
the
it
question.
out of pocket?
Is it out of pocket or a sign of the time that he used to kiss random women that used to come watch and perform at his show?
Is that a real question?
Yeah, that's a real question.
I mean, like the kind of crazy stuff they was doing at rock shows, they're not bringing that up. Why are they worried about Teddy Pendergrass and what he's doing at his shows? It's like, come on, that's irrelevant. Like 70s and 80s in a rock when they was in these rock shows was probably doing crazier shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So him kissing random women that allowed it to happen, what are we talking about?
Yeah, because me personally, I think it's a sign of the time. Because back then, Teddy Pendergrass used to throw concerts that was considered ladies only. So all that music, his vocals, the lights low, and him kind of, I would say that how Usher is performing now, I don't want to say he got it from Teddy Pendergrass, but it was definitely inspired by Teddy Pendergrass because Teddy Pendergrass will start on stage, work his way in the crowd with the mic, and and he get real close to them women, like how Usher dangled the cherries, and he go plant one on them. So I think, me personally, it's a sign of the time, not necessarily out of pocket. So, and that was a part of the experience. When women now go to a Chris Brown show today, what do? They pay the extra $1,000 so they could take a picture. You know, however they want the picture. Like they want Chris Brown to grab him by the booty and hold the legs up, you know what I'm saying? All at the same time while cuffing the butt. Like, I just think that's a sign of the time. So me personally, that's what I think. I don't necessarily believe it's out of pocket, you
Yeah,
know.
facts.
Women loved him. Teddy had it like that though. His vocals had the woman wet. That's a fact. When you watch some old videos of Teddy Pendergrass out there performing in the white leisure pants and the pasta see-through undershirt tight shirt style, like them women will go crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then with the vocals, and he planting kisses on them, they damn near fainted. You know what I'm saying? And the words he used to say, his lyrics would be crazy too. So the fact that he had all women performances was genius. So, but I don't think that's no different from what Usher does now. Majority of the people that goes to the show or Usher show is women. Even though as men we enjoy his music too, but we go more women go to his show because of what do we see at the show? The cherries. So he rolling up to random women. Matter of fact, there was a woman that got divorced. The guy divorced his wife because she never showed him any real forms of public affection. But when she get in front of Usher, she was ready to risk it all. I don't know if you've seen the video, but she was ready to risk it all. You seen the video?
Yeah.
And she, the way he dangled the cherries on her, she, you know what I'm saying? Like, she going crazy. So I think any man in that position would feel the type of way if that was their woman. So, but Teddy Pendergrass, again, I say is a sign of the time, and it's not out of pocket. So that's what I think. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic: 35-year-old woman is sentenced to 25 years for murdering her 16-year-old boyfriend. What do you think about that?
I mean, you do the crime, you gotta do the time. You know what I'm saying? You're lucky you ain't get life. So 25 years is the sentence.
Hmm.
I believe because it's a woman, she didn't get life, but she should have got life for it.
Hmm. And the area mattered too. So this was a woman. This happened in Colorado, and she shot and killed him. This is Ashley Handy. She was 32. Again, her boyfriend was 16 at the time, and yeah, she got sentenced to 25 years uh, for this murder. Um, she's 30 something. He's 16 years old. She's 32. He's 16. What can a 15-year-old do to get you that upset when you take his life?
And what's the age of consent in Colorado? Because 16 can't be an adult in Colorado at 16.
I think it's 15. I could double check that right now. I used to know the age of consent, or 17. It's 17 off the top of my head because when we was doing the research on the age of consent, it would bother me that the age of consent of marriage would be one thing, and the age of sex would be a whole other thing. So places like Alabama would be 15, and Maryland was like 15, and Delaware is like 16. But in Colorado, it is 17. The age of consent is 17.
So she didn't even get no charges on that regard. So they should have got hit with something to get an extra 5 years, 10 years on the egregious the age gap there in the relationship. So
Hmm.
she should have at least got 10 years on added to her sentence just because of the age gap.
Hmm. And see me, I'm the type of person, if you're an adult, you're an adult, right? Age ain't nothing but a number once you become an adult. So if you're 25 and you're dealing with somebody that's 45 or 55, then that's your prerogative. Nobody should have nothing to say about that. But 32 and 16 is a major difference as far as the mentality and where you're at in your life. There's nothing that dealing with somebody that young can make you that angry where you say, you know what, yeah, my only option is going to take their life. That's that's wild. You shouldn't even been messing with this young man in the first place based on the fact that he's not even at the age of consent. Second place, you're gonna take his life. So she deserved every bit of that sentence that she got. She actually deserved more, and she robbed this young man of his life. She murdered him. She shot and killed this man, this young kid, I should say. So, at the end of the day, man, I hope she don't make the parole qualifications. Like, nah, keep it in there because she deserved more time. It could have been self defense, but still got sentenced. If it was self defense, the sentence would have reflected that, right? This was cold blood. This was premeditated that she did this. Well, I won't say premeditated, but this is something that happened that didn't have to happen. So if this was self defense, she wouldn't be doing any time at all. Especially in Colorado, their laws is slightly a little different, and it was still an unnecessary killing. The young man is 16 years old, so that's just wild. Shout out to Rising in the building. Hit that like, hit the like, hit the 100s. Appreciate you tapping in. Ray Love. Well, yeah, but sometimes if a person murders another person, depending on what the situation, wastewater, they can still go to jail for it. Fact. But again, it depends on how the situation comes about. So, and intent matters as well too. So these different things I didn't see available for what was looked up. But again, this was a murder that didn't have to happen. So at the end of the day, she got her time, but she should have got more time because just the whole situation together, the age of consent and the age gap. There's nothing that he could have did that made you kill him. Like, I mean, the whole thing is at the end of the day, there was nothing in the report saying that he was trying to hurt her for him to do that. So we have to go by what is and what instead of what it could happen. So but yeah. All right, y'all. Anything you wanted to add to that, bro? I would
Nah, you said it all.
uh All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Our next segment is brought to you by Bravo Section. Make sure you tap into bigbravosection.com. Again, bigbravosection.com. You can buy dope photography, or if you're in the Miami area, you could book a session with one of the best photographers in the world. If you're not, you can still book that session. They'll come out and take care of your session. But it starts at bigbravosection.com. Again, bigbravosection.com. You got petty law, petty words, Black's law for us.
All right, so this section is words that we grab from the Black's Law Dictionary. I feel learning certain words is pivotal to understanding the world around us. But this time I felt going to change and pivot a little bit. So these words are grabbed from the American Dictionary from 1828. So again, that is a pivotal of importance once you understand the words that I went after. So again, these words are from the American Dictionary from 1828. All right, so the first word is American. It's a noun, and it's a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper-colored races found here by the Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. All right, American. So next word on the list is swarthy. Swarthy means being of dark hue or a dusky complexion. Fawny. In the warm climates, the complexion of men is universally swarthy or black. The Moors, Spaniards, and Italians are more swarthy than the French, Germans, and the English. All right. Next word is dusky, meaning partially dark or obscure, not luminous, as a dusky valley, a dusky torch, tending to blackness in color, partially black, dark colored, not bright, or as dusky brown. Right? And last word is tawny, of yellowish, dark color, like things tawny, or persons who are sunburnt as a tawny Moor or Spaniard, or a tawny son of Numidia. Right? So these words were again American, swarthy, dusky, and tawny. Again, these words were from the American Dictionary of 1828. So take that with how you will. So next, if you have any other words, you could send it at me. Probably gonna start doing the origin of words, which is the etymology of these words. So that'll probably be the next episode. But again, if you have any words, throw it on the list, and there's a whole bunch of dictionaries, so we could go for the legal definition, we could go for the American definition, or we would find the etymology, the origin of where that word comes from. So again, tap in, put your words on the chat, and for next episode, we could do different criterias and different levels of research.
Yeah, make sure y'all send y'all words in. Be serious. Don't be jokey with the words. Shout out to Biggs for tapping in. We appreciate you as always. Another badge holder, badge holders. Again, y'all, don't forget to go get your badges. Different memberships has different access. They're worth it. So make sure y'all tap in. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Our Keep the Lie Alive segment.
Keep the lie alive.
Keep the lie alive. So my keep the lie alive for this episode has been a theme all show long. It's a theme all show long. Is learning the power to walk away from relationships, y'all. We've heard it all show long. And we don't do enough deep diving in learning how to walk away from a toxic situation. When something is no longer good to you, when it don't feel right anymore in that romantic relationship, guess what? There's only two things you can do. You can talk about it with your partner so that way you can have real resolution, or you leave. When somebody loves you and they love you enough to sit down and hear where you're coming from and do the things that are necessary to keep you around, then that's what you do. But a lot of times when you say your grievances, they listen enough to respond, whether it's man or woman. So at the end of the day, you have to know how to be able to walk away for something that's no longer good to you. Could have been great for a period of time. You hear people all the time, oh, in our marriage, we had great years. And then we had years that wasn't great. But when you're involved in something that's hurting you in all aspects, mental, physical, financial, spiritual, for a fourth aspect, there's nothing that you can gain from that. Then you have to have a space where you can walk away and gain proper perspective, because you're going to put yourself and linger yourself into a toxic environment where it literally takes one thing for you to snap. Hey, I wanted you to take out the garbage. Oh, whoa, what? And that's that snap, because you're holding on to things that you should have either let go or you should have spoke on. And by speaking on it is a way of letting it go. Just for the fact that you're able to speak to that person in a way where they can understand. But also having effective communication also is important as well too. Not just any type of communication, effective communication. I always say learning how to have the tough conversation but be resolution based. And a lot of the times when people move in that manner, they don't know when something is no longer good for them, where they have the ability to say, you know what, I love you, but I have to love you from a distance from here on out because this is no longer good for me. How many times have we seen on social media? We see it daily where people are crashing out on each other because of a bad relationship that was together for too long. When that relationship started based in love, based on having a real connection with this person. So how can you go from when you see this person have butterflies in your stomach or can't wait to see this person to the point where now you can't stand the sound of their voice, you can't stand their guts, and it's mainly because you're not honest enough with yourself and with the other person to know when to walk away. Learning how to have the difficult conversation but be resolution based. When it's no longer good for you, it's taken away, and when you linger yourself in that energy, it only could put you in a situation that could change your life. We spoke on the young man earlier who's accused of harming his ex-girlfriend. And they got this on videotape of this man doing some things to her physically. That's a situation where together for too long. We just heard about this 32-year-old woman that took the life of a 16-year-old kid together for too long. I mean, I could go through the whole thing show by show, even the movies that we mentioned. These themes are relevant in everything that we watch, everything that we hear in the music, every way of life that we are living, but we not using the real message of what to do moving forward. Learning the power to walk away is not only important, but it can save your life. That's my keep the lie live for this episode. Anything you want to add to that, bro?
Just peeping the red flags, whether minute, it is like the signs are always there. You just have to be very aware about when you catch them. See what I'm saying? Because they're gonna be there. If I've looked at past relationships and stuff I've ignored and should have looked at, and they've come back to bite me. So if you see signs and red flags, they're there for a reason. So pay heed to them, and it's always good to walk away from situations because nothing better is where you can wake up in the morning and not have to answer to somebody else about your life. So make the right decisions. Walk away is always a better decision than anything else.
That's a fact, bro. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I got 30 years in, off and on, but I finally realized ain't nobody got my back more than my wife has over the years separated and together. Man, that's that. See, a lot of people wouldn't even understand that. A lot of people wouldn't even understand that. But sometimes when you're not together with somebody, you can see the value in them and they can see the value in you. So by you saying that, that's not off kilter at all. That's very real. Sometimes we love somebody so much that we are better apart than we are together. But that love is eternal. That fire still burn, right? Where you could go a whole year without seeing them, and the next time you see them, you're like, damn, woo, woman, you are looking good. Let's go do whatever. Let's go spend some time, and then that kind of comes back again, right? So the fact that y'all been off and on, and that fire still burns, and nobody has your back like her, that says a lot about her, how special she is, how different she is. But sometimes in relationship, you need that space apart to realize how important that person energy is. So shout out to that, man. Uh Rowan Jack, 150th. That's a fact. We on our 150th episode. Ray Love, we are now 11 years straight on together. That's beautiful. But we got married 6 months, and the relationship was very young. Man, like I said, people don't even understand to really go through tough situations and making the relationship work. Bro, what do you do when you're trying to have the tough conversation and it's not being resolution based?
Well, the question is, how many times am I having this conversation? That's really the question. Because I'm not repeating myself. It's only one or two times we're having this conversation. After that, I'm gonna make the solution myself. So it's not I don't do repeat conversations because I've learned in my household one time, second time, and after that, it's now you're not paying attention, and now you know what I'm saying. It's a whole different conversation after that. So for me, I've always grown up. If I have to tell you more than once about something that you're doing to me that I don't like, I mean, it's only two times we having that conversation.
Do you think that's based in not comprehending or disrespect?
Uh, Again, like I said, two times. You have to understand after two times. Any more than that, then it's like I said, it's going to be a different conversation because it's either going to be taken as disrespect now because I'm speaking to in a language that you understand. So it can't be it can't be comprehension because the first time if you didn't comprehend, then okay, I'll take that. But the second time you tell me you didn't comprehend again, so that's why I say it's only but two times you can have a conversation about something that somebody's doing to you that's disrespectful, and they're still doing it after two times, and you're still with them. Now I'm off that.
Most relationships nowadays are very microwave based. And that's mainly because, like I said at the beginning of the show, that comprehension can save your life. A lot of times people listen to what they hear and they make up what they took from what you said instead of what's actually being said. For example, I brought it up as an example before. You can say, "Hey, take out the trash." That person would say, "Oh, you trying to call me dirty? You trying to call me like I'm I stink or something?" No, take out the trash. It's going to get funky in here, and take out the trash because it's going to get funky in here to avoid the funk. So take the trash out. You walking outside. How do you continue to walk past this trash and not want to take the trash out? And so instead of hearing, take out the trash to prevent it from being funky, a person would take it as you're trying to call them stink, they're dirty, and they're not comprehending what the gist of what it is. So a lot of times people are not rooted in logic when they react instead of listen. And a lot of times it be a part of people past that they bring to these relationships or to the present relationships why things are not resolution based. So, man, shout out to some of y'all in the chat. I know some of y'all been married for long periods of time. Shout out to Rowan Jack. And I know he's been married for a while as well. Shout out to you, man. Keep your families, your household together, and continue to be the leaders in your household. Remember, ladies, we need each other. This is not a type of show where we women bash. We need each other. We tell it like it is, though. I'm not gonna placate. My brother not gonna placate. We tell it like it is, but we need each other. That's the whole point of the matter of this. We need each other. So do understand that. All right, y'all. Yo, y'all been amazing as always. Hit them likes, y'all. Hit them likes. I want to see them likes. I want to see them 100s in the chat. Again, it helps us with the growth of the show. I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in. Y'all been amazing as always. This is Can a Brother Get a Rap podcast. For those badge holders, make sure y'all tap in. Tap in. Make sure y'all get the message so that way we can send y'all some stickers for your computers or wherever you want to put them up. Also, got merch links to the merch links to the merch in the bio. So make sure y'all tap into the merch. Also, uh, watch those rewatches, continue to watch those rewatches. There's over 300 rewatchable videos of this podcast on this channel. Great for conversational starters with your friends, families, co-workers, people that like to have interesting conversations. We talk about everything. So as y'all know, if this was your first time watching, thank y'all. Come back again Thursday, Sunday at 10:30. Also, I want to thank some of the sponsors of the show: Brombo Section, Button Snaps, and OUV Records. If you're interested in becoming one of the sponsors of the show, you can hit me up on Instagram at Ashley Lovechild, or you can hit my bro on his Instagram at
Bravo Section _.
Again, if you're interested in becoming one of the sponsors of the show. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 11,000 subscribers. So make sure y'all continue to like, subscribe, share, and then tell a friend. So again, we appreciate y'all as always. Also, I got new music on the way. New EP coming out May 26th. New EP coming out May 26th. Winners Loyalty. Make sure y'all ready for that. It's a fire EP. In the mean between time, just tap in Ashley Lovechild on any music platform, whether it's Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube Music. Type in Ashley Lovechild. I got fire music. I told y'all at the top of the show. So make sure y'all tap into the music. I know my bro got his website.
Tap into bigbravosection.com. Again, bigbravosection.com. Working on some merch.
Make sure y'all get ready. Shout out to Ray Love again. Sorry I came in late, but I thought you said 10:30. Yeah, we on 10:30. The links are available at 10:30, and we give people a second to come in. But again, we appreciate you as always, Ray Love. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Also, make sure y'all tap in every Monday at 9:30. Again, while I understand we can overstand on this channel, so make sure you tap in. We do pop up episodes as well, so hit that all notification bell. You just never know when we're gonna pop ups, whether it's shorts, whether it's videos, or whether it's live. So make sure y'all stay in tune. I'm in Vegas. Yo, shout out to Vegas. Vegas used to be one of my most favorite cities to go to. The food in Vegas used to be popping. The energy is so much to do in Vegas. But the last time I went to Vegas, which was like a couple years ago, it didn't feel like post COVID and pre COVID, completely different Vegas. But shout out to Vegas though. Shout out to Vegas. I normally have a great time in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Uh, what else? What else? What else? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, and again, thank you to the presenting sponsor of the show, Button Snaps. Again, where you get the finest of movie shows, original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's button hyphenated sign snaps.com. That's button hyphenated sign snaps.com. And again, thank y'all for tuning in. Santana, don't forget, bro. You got the juice now, man. Y'all, you already know, y'all. It's love, and we out of here.